What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we need to talk about SNDL Inc. No longer Sundial Growers. The company has changed their name officially. This is the first time we're talking about it on the channel. They're now SNDL Inc., no longer Sundial Growers. So we're going to start off taking a look at SNDL, and we're going to talk about their earnings call, as well as what's going on with the stock in general, because we have seen a lot of positive momentum for them over the past couple of weeks. And there are some reasons why and some good things that I can see for them looking forward, not only on the legalization front. In fact, we're not even going to talk that much about legalization in this video. We're mostly going to be talking about their earnings call and some other good stuff going on for them. So today you can see they're up about 5%. They were up even more, close to 359 at their highs. And they're not alone. Tilray's also moving up. The market's also moving up. A lot of stocks are going up, but Sundial more than most, right? Up about 5%. That's a decent sized move for a stock any given day. And I think that in the near future, we might be seeing moves bigger than this. We'll see. But we do have some earnings results that we've got to go over that we haven't talked about yet. And they're pretty impressive. They're actually pretty good because if you look at a lot of their numbers, they're very positive. And if you look especially at their liquor retail numbers, they've been doing quite well. They have about $148 million worth of revenue from their liquor business, as well as a $7 million profit. Okay, that's what they actually earned on their liquor business, which they acquired earlier in the year from Alcana. Now, they also received about $200,000 from their retail business, from their cannabis retail business, from selling direct to consumers, and they unfortunately did lose almost $8 million on their production, their cannabis cultivation and production. So a loss there. But overall, the biggest loss that they had, the reason that they really were down in terms of earnings this quarter was because of their investments. Okay, Sundial has a bunch of investments. They accrued a bunch of cash over the past several years, and they've been investing it oftentimes into the cannabis space, and they lost about $92 million on those investments, leading to overall the company losing about $75 million. So for this quarter, they did not do great earnings-wise. However, there is a very understandable reason why they were actually negative on their investments. And if you just look at a simple chart of the S&P 500 for the past year and take note of the fact that these earnings results are for the second quarter of the year, you can see exactly what was going on in the market for the second quarter of the year. Right about here, the market was tanking. So it makes a lot of sense that their investments weren't doing too well. However, what's notable and is actually very good is that over the past month or so, during quarter three, investments stock market accounts have actually been going back up. Sundial, I would expect, is benefiting from this, as Sundial has also been a stock that's been moving up. So have a lot of cannabis stocks. I expect that a lot of their investments, when we see the quarter three earnings, would probably be doing pretty darn good and would probably be netting a pretty big profit, considering the fact that they fell so much in quarter two and now have rebounded quite a bit already. And we're not even that far into quarter three. We still have a long ways to go, but I expect that Sundial will be having a much bigger earnings hit on investments rather than a huge loss. You know, they did lose a ton, $92 million lost in investments. You guys can probably relate to that. A lot of investments over the past couple of months have been suffering, but the market is starting to turn around, and I'm very glad to see it. And surely so are Sundial shareholders as well as Sundial management, looking at the investment accounts probably booming over the past while. As long as we don't take another big hit, as long as nothing drags the stock market down again, we should be looking pretty good on the investments front of Sundial, and we might actually pull out a profitable quarter three. That would be very good for Sundial. In fact, I would expect that if we continue on this trajectory, that we could have a profitable quarter three. Now, regardless of what you think about their investments, there is something that you guys need to understand about not just Sundial, but every single company in the stock market. And this quote comes from Rashid Ogunlaru, and it is very applicable to stock market investing. He says, how you look at it is pretty much how you'll see it. And that's a tale as old as time. People have been looking at stocks and are either very bullish or very bearish based on what they want to look at. And you can take Sundial as an example. You can look at their earnings call, and a lot of bears are looking at this saying, look, they lost $75 million in Q2. That's a horrible earnings call, big negative number. They're burning through cash. That's really not a good thing for them. And on the opposite side, there could be a lot of bulls recognizing that, hey, a lot of that, most of that, the vast, vast majority was lost due to investments. The stock market is starting to turn around. Those investments are likely to turn profitable in quarter three. And there are other catalysts, such as legalization, that could also be pumping sundial up. And none of this is a guarantee. No one can actually see the future, but there are going to be bulls and bears on either side of any stock trying to pull it in their direction, either shorts trying to push it down or bulls trying to buy it and pull it up. And only time will actually end up telling who is right. But regardless, people are going to be looking at it and seeing it how they want to. And at the end of the day, you just have to accept that that's how it is for you as well. You're probably no different from all those other guys out there. And the best thing that you can do is not throw all your chips onto one player. Okay. You don't want to bet everything. You don't want to bet the farm on any one play, because when you're looking at something, you're deciding how you're going to see it essentially, and you're not actually seeing it for what it is or what it's going to be. There's no guarantees out there. There's no 100% guarantees of continuing to operate successfully for any company out there, no matter how big it is, no matter what it is. You can't know for sure that something's going to succeed. And so I, at least, like to diversify. I like to have a couple different investments and not be all in on one specific thing or one idea, no matter how tempting it looks to the upside or to the downside. I always like to diversify and never have too much risk in one particular area. But that's just my opinion, not financial advice, guys. And if you appreciate this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.